In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 things that you can do in your next music video to make it flow better. I bet you're not doing these things, and because of that, it's killing the flow of your music video. Before we get into the video, I want to let you know that my new After Effects plugin, Shake Sauce 2, is out now. It's by far the easiest way to add shake in After Effects, and I'll have a link down below with a 7-day free trial. That way you can try it out 100% risk-free. Without further ado, drop a like on the video and let's get into After Effects. So here inside of After Effects, this is a music video called Wishing on a 2, and it does a great job at having flow in the video without just focusing on the cut of the music video. Because I know a lot of people get a lot of the flow from the overall cut, which is a great way to start. But in this video, I'm sharing 3 unique ways that you probably don't know about. So this video does all 3 of the techniques that I'm going to share, and I'm going to play a quick 3-second clip for you, and you're probably not even gonna be able to pick up on all 3 of the techniques, but that's what good flow actually looks like. So let me go ahead and play that.
I ever wanted, they told me stay down, you gonna get what you want, but trauma and pain.
And just like that, those simple 3 clips had a lot of flow, matched the vibe of the song, and I'm gonna show you how to do all 3 of those things that you might not even picked up on. So stay tuned. So the first technique I'm gonna show you is using the same clip, but making a cut and applying an effect on it. That way, it can almost be like it's cutting to a new clip, but it's actually the same clip. So a lot of times in music videos, sometimes you only have one good performance scene and you wanna be able to extend that scene, but not have it play on for too long. And this is a great way to still have it flow together, but use that same scene. So as you can see here, I have the audio track pulled up.
You the man, I'm hurt, but I know it.
And there's 2 little kicks right here. So I'm gonna cut it here, and there's also one right here. So I'm only gonna cut it once. So it's gonna go from this scene right here
I'm hurt.
to this same scene, but we're gonna go ahead and apply some effects onto it. That way you can kind of have this longer playing clip feel like a shorter clip because it cuts to a clip with an effect. So one of my favorite ways to cut from one clip to the same clip but make it feel completely different is adding an effect like tone on, and that's just gonna change the complete color of the clip. And now you can see
You the man, I'm hurt, but I know
it goes to a separate color, and we can go ahead and make this whatever color you want. You can make it like a black and white. You can make it colored. You can really do whatever. I think something clean like a black and white might look good here. Maybe even just a slight like blue hint to it or something like that might look cool. And then adding something on like add grain will really like make it feel like a complete separate clip. So we're gonna go to final output, and then I normally just choose one of these presets and then turn on monochromatic, and then let's crank up the intensity just a little bit so it seems like there's a little bit more grit to it.
for you the man, I'm hurt, but I know it.
So now we have this separate feeling clip right where it cuts to the beat, but because there's no like zoom or shake, it doesn't really feel like it's transitioning to a new clip. So that's one of the techniques, applying an effect to the clip like on a beat hit or something so it feels like it's a different clip. But as you can see, when we play it,
for you the man, I'm hurt, but I know
it doesn't really feel like a completely separate clip. It feels like it just changed. So you have to stack some of these techniques to get a really good look. And before we move on to the second technique, you can add a bunch of different effects here. It doesn't have to be just tritone or add grain. And if you have the Sapphire and Universe plugin, I'd highly recommend you check out my Opium preset pack. It's for Sapphire and Universe, and I have a bunch of presets like this one called Fly Shit that you can see.
I'm hurt, but I know
it does the exact thing we're talking about. It's like an effect that's applied to the clip. Another really good one is Whole Lot of Red. I think that one looks really cool. It's almost like some blood splatters on the screen. There's another one that I really like called If Looks Could Kill. And you can see it just instantly transforms your clip. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave on that Fly Shit one for the sake of the tutorial, but you can go through and you can see how I use all these different effects here: radial blur, chromatic aberrations, grain, heat wave, and glow-fi. Go ahead and stack on a bunch of different effects. And if you're looking for a bunch of pre-done presets that you can just drag on like these, I'll have the Opium pack link down in the description as well. I'd highly suggest it if you have Sapphire and Universe. So the next thing we need to do is stack these techniques. That way it feels like an actual transition. So you can see
for you the man, I'm hurt, but I know
it like transitions a little bit, but it doesn't have like that, like it doesn't really completely sell it. So the next technique I'm going to use is adding shakes. So if you don't already have Shake Sauce 2, I'll have it linked down in the description. You can try it out with a 7-day free trial, 100% risk-free. Cancel at any time if you don't enjoy it. I guarantee you're going to love it, especially if you use After Effects and you want these super saucy transitions. So you can hover over any of these presets, and I think a vertical hit here would be really cool, a great way to like transition. So I selected the vertical preset. I'm going to move my playhead right to the center where this transition happens, and we're going to go ahead and click this check mark. And what that's going to do is just load up the shake preset in the background, and then just like that,
I'm hurt, but I know it.
We have this transition with the shake. And I think I'm going to go ahead and actually change a little bit of the settings. So pressing U on my keyboard, we can go ahead and see what comes up. I actually do want to turn off the rotate amplitude completely. I want it to be straight and vertical. And then also under the separate dimensions, I'm going to make the amplitude just a little bit less intense, and then also bring up the flicker to something like 3. So now you can see we have this nice transition.
You the man, I'm hurt, but I know it.
It has that shake, and there's actually like 2 hits here. So it goes like do, do. So what I'm gonna do is actually just copy and paste these keyframes and line them up so it has that second hit. And all I'm gonna do on the second one is just turn down the intensity just a little bit so it feels a little bit less intense on the flash and also the actual hit itself. So now
You the man, I'm hurt, but I know it.
you can see how it goes do, do. And actually, I think the hit on the second one's off a little bit. So we just need to go ahead and just tweak that just a little bit by moving the keyframes.
I'm hurt, but I know it. I'm hurt, but I know it.
And there we are. We have that nice shake transition. It hides the transition between the normal clip and the clip with effects really, really well. And I'm also just gonna go ahead and apply that here to this transition as well.
But I know it get better. But I know it get better.
Just so it has a little bit more flow as well. And then the third and final technique to add flow to your video is adding some kind of zoom. So in the original music video, you can see it cuts here with that shake, just like I showed you, to a different kind of effect with the grain, but it also zooms in from like a full body shot to, you know, you can see zoomed in like that. So that's something we can do one way or the other. So if we go to this clip here, we can actually go ahead and just scale in and fit it to our frame how we want.
For you the man, I'm hurt, but I know it.
And you can even do stuff like keyframe the scale and the position and then almost do a zoom out. So let's go ahead and reset these towards the end. That way it zooms in and then actually zooms out.
For you the man, I'm hurt, but I know it get better with.
Just so it has a little bit more flow. You can barely even notice it, but things like that really do add up. And you can go ahead and do the same thing here. It almost looks like in camera they did it, or in post. You can see like the zoom here, but we can make it even a little bit more intense, like have it be zoomed in and then over time.
For you the man, I'm hurt, but I
zoom out here, and we can make it a little quicker.
For you the man, I'm hurt, but I know it.
And then if you're applying zooms like that, make sure to turn on motion blur and then also apply it to the layer that you are making the motion blur on. So you can see we need to add it here. You can see the huge difference it has here. So let's go ahead and turn it on for that layer and that layer. And now
for you the man, I'm hurt, but I know it get better with time. I'm laughing and smack for you the man.
And now it just has a little bit more flow in this section. So next time you're editing a music video and thinking about completely recutting your music video, try out these techniques like shake, zooms, and adding effects on the same clip. That way you don't have to go and find a new performance scene or add B-roll somewhere you don't want to add B-roll. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys in this one. If you haven't already, drop a like in the video, and if you're not already subscribed, be sure to do that. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys in this one. Peace.